Hey everybody, my name is David Vidal. Welcome to my personal channel, Socials Awkward. This video is about how to winterize your T-Rex. Let's go. All right, if you live in a part of the world where you have to winterize your T-Rex for any reason, this video is for you. Or if you're one of the lucky ones who lives in a never winter state and you have to store your machine for any amount of time, here are 10 things that you can do to store or winterize your machine. Obviously, you could make this list much longer, but I thought these were probably the most important things to talk about, and a couple of honorable mentions right there at the end. So the first thing that we want to do is deep clean our wheels. You don't want to get back to your T-Rex after a season off and have a dirty machine. You want to go back to a clean machine. So this is the product that I use. You can use just about any recommended product for the type of wheels that you have. If you have painted wheels or powder coated wheels. This is my least favorite chore. It is a thankless and knuckle busting job, but I was happy to have it done. Next goes to washing the body and of course those givey bags. So this is how I wash mine. You are never gonna believe this. If you had any trouble ever with bugs, you have got to try this trick. You're never gonna believe me. This is a dryer sheet. It doesn't even need to be a new dryer sheet. You can repurpose one that's already been through your dryer. Get a little tote, put some water in it, drop some dryer sheets in there. I've cut mine up into little squares that I like to use. Let them soak and they'll just be wherever you wanna store them until you're ready to use them. So what I have here is a Zep bottle and I have it filled 4-to-1 with water and alcohol. And what I'm gonna do is spray the surface of my T-Rex, and then I'm gonna take that dryer sheet and I'm gonna just go in small circles. And let me show you. So these bugs don't look like much. These are really caked on, these are nasty, and they just fall apart. So what you wanna do is just spray little sections of your T-Rex, you know, the hood, the bezels, whichever section you wanna work. And then you're gonna go through and just lightly, you don't have to scrub very hard, you're just gonna lightly scrub with that dryer sheet. You can do the mirrors and you can do the windshields, and this is amazing. You will thank me. I actually learned this trick from the guy who did my clear bra, a company called DuraShield. He turned me onto this trick. Additionally, I have some soft scrubbers in here, and sometimes I'll use a sponge on occasion, and I'll just wrap the dryer sheet around it. That way I have something to hold on to. But you really don't need it. You just need the dryer sheet and your water alcohol solution. This is something that you'll definitely want. This is one of my must-have tools for the T-Rex. I'm gonna do a video of must-have tools. I have 2 of them showcased in this video. This is one of them. This thing will save you so much. I've used this to fish out little screws and nuts and things, and right here I'm just using it to pull out some bugs very carefully so I don't scratch the paint, but absolutely must-have tool. So simple. All right, so back to this bottle. It is, again, a 4-to-1 water and alcohol solution. So once you've got all the bugs floating, after you hit them with that dryer sheet, you wanna take your water alcohol solution and just spray it onto your T-Rex in the sections that you want to work. And then you get a nice little microfiber rag and wipe it down. So this is how I wash it. It's good everywhere. You can take it across the windshields, on any surface. When you're all done, you wanna grab your Sprayway Glass cleaner. This is my favorite glass cleaner, and it works awesome on your T-Rex. It is gonna leave a shine like you wouldn't believe. You will be able to see your face in your T-Rex. This is super awesome. And when you spray it on, it turns white, so you know where you sprayed. And then you'll just do the same process. So after you've done your water alcohol mix, then you're gonna spray your Sprayway Glass cleaner and just take it in sections. So right here, I usually start with the nose and then I hit the windshield. You do the inside, the outside. You can use it on any surface of the T-Rex. Also, don't forget about your givey bags. Give them the same treatment. First the water alcohol and then the Sprayway Glass cleaner. And another thing I love about the dryer sheet, the water alcohol solution, and the Sprayway Glass cleaner is that they smell amazing. So your garage, wherever it is you keep your T-Rex, is gonna smell so good. It's one of my favorite parts about cleaning the T-Rex is because it smells new every time. Awesome, you're gonna love it. All right, got the body washed and the givvies washed. It's time to remove the seats and vacuum out the inside of your T-Rex. Thankfully, the cockpit of the T-Rex isn't that big. I know that you can see that I've got my seats in my T-Rex. I just had them out the other day, so I'm just vacuuming again for the purpose of this video. So once you get that done, you can move on to checking fluids and your chain. It's always a good idea to keep an eye on these things, but why not now? Here's my oil level, it's perfect. This is cold, so when I run the engine, it drops just below that top line, right where it's supposed to be. Let's have a look at that reverse gearbox oil. Oops, ooh, man, it is dirty in here. Okay, but the level looks good, the level is right, but this close-up really tells a picture here, so I'm gonna have to get in here and clean this up a little bit. I'm gonna check my chain tension next. This is another one of my must-have tools from BPA Racing. It is awesome, a lifesaver. You will thank me in just a moment. You can tell if your chain is a little loose, if it's a little tight, or if it's dead on. So check this out. This is how easy it is to use. I'm doing this with one hand. I'm just gonna put it in here. I've already got it calibrated. So that's the trick. You gotta have this thing calibrated first. Maybe I'll do a video on it, but you can see this is dead on. It's perfect, my chain is perfect. It doesn't need to be tightened, it doesn't need to be loosened. It is ready to go. I also checked for lubrication while I was checking the tension. Everything looked good, so I opted not to lube the chain and move on instead to stabilizing the fuel. I use this marine grade fuel stabilizer. There's a gajillion different brands that you can use, they're all fine. I also treated the fuel that was in my storage bag. Although I will not let this sit all winter. I'll use this fuel in my snowblower and then start next season on an empty bag. I'll just fill it with some new fuel then. Now it's time to mount your T-Rex on jack stands or prep the tires for winter. If your T-Rex is gonna sit on a really cold surface for a long time, you really want it off the ground if you can. So I have these 4 jack stands, and you want to get these little rubber grommets that go on the top. I've got a jack underneath the corner right here. So before you say anything, there is a softener on that jack, so I'm not scratching up the paint on the frame. But you just jack this frame up until the front tire comes off the ground high enough to get a jack stand underneath it, and you put it right here at the A-arm. And I hated it. So I did a little research and I found that you could put this is a stall mat, like a horse stall mat, and you can put this underneath your tires, and it essentially does the same thing as having your tires off the ground. It puts that extra little buffer or insulation between the concrete and your tire. So I opted for this instead of the jack stands because it was too precarious. I didn't like how it was jacked up. I didn't like how my T-Rex felt on the jack stands. Sometimes we were lucky enough to have a good day to ride in late November or even late December. So not having the T-Rex on jack stands means I might be able to get this thing out there on one of those days, capitalize on one of those days. The last thing that we need to do here is the cover on the T-Rex. So even though mine's in the doghouse all off season, it's nice to just keep that dust off there. Plus we got it all squeaky clean. So let's get our cover on there. We'll see if Kyber lets me get this little chore done. He's about tapped out from winterizing the T-Rex. But I've never put a cover on before, so I just opened it up and threw it on. Took a little doing. I just tugged here and pulled there and twisted there. It's got these little clips that tie around your frame on the back side. And once you get it all on there, it looks great. Again, I've never done this before, and it took me about 5 minutes. It was really, really self-explanatory, and it's just a cover. So last thing is I've got these Cardo Pack Talk edges. I'm gonna leave the headphones out in the doghouse for the winter, but I will bring the module inside and also make sure that you plug your T-Rex in. And Kyber, he's got my keys. Okay, here are, again, the 10 things that you need to do to winterize your T-Rex. Turn those into to-dones, and I will see you next season. I hope this helped.